Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council. Interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000 plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome back to all of you in Learning and Development webinar. My name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator today. So if at any point you have any question or if you want to know more regarding the GSDC, please feel free to use the chat box. And let's start with the today's session. I hope you're all ready for that. Just allow me a minute to share my screen. Meanwhile, please do let us know from where you guys are watching. We would be happy to know that. So, on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm truly delighted to welcome you all into the GSTC Certified Learning Holiday Learning and Development Experience, redefining workforce skills, leadership, and learning impact for 2026, empowering growth and performance in the workplace. And one of the things which make this webinar so interesting is the amazing expert panel we have lined up for you. Some of them have already delivered a very incredible and insightful sessions, and others are all set to bring in more powerful ideas. So for those who have joined with us for the very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. Global Skill Development Council is a globally recognized certification body. We are accredited by ABICB. Till yet, we have a 250,000 professionals certified with us. We are partnered with 100 plus training providers across globe. We are associated with 500 plus subject matter experts who contribute to our program. I really apologize for that. We are also partnered with 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus universities worldwide. So these are the training partners who are associated with us from Asia, Africa, Canada, Australia, Nigeria, Singapore, and many other countries. So special thanks to all training partners for helping us improving our program. And a very special thank you to our media partner, WordPress Hub, for covering all of our press releases and event releases. So, before starting the session, I just wanted to make a quick announcement that we have just launched a very unique platform called GSDC AI Studio Lifelong Learning Initiative, in which you will be getting 100 plus live monthly sessions with global expert, including 4 daily sessions, 45-minute live expert lead session for hands-on learning, sessions from global expert. You can learn directly from our AI leaders around the world. Real time practice, you can apply concept immediately and get your question answered. Certification ready, you will be getting the training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. So, do you want to know how you can get the benefit of GSDC AI Studio? Well, let me tell you. So there are three ways. First, you have a free 14 days access in which you are going to get 80 plus live session per month and access to full GSTC studio. Second, you have a GSTC lifelong membership. You will be upgrading to Pro in $109 and you will get a lifetime access of 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSTC studio, free GSDC membership, access to physical events, LinkedIn profile improver. Last but not the least, we have GSTC certification plus lifetime membership. So now participant, this offer is for a very limited time of period. So make sure you're taking the advantage of it because you are going to get lifetime access of GSTC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone projects plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot competency assessment tool in $100 only. So take the advantage of this offer. And currently, we are covering 100 plus certification in our portfolio, including the learning and development, HR, Gen AI, Agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation, and many more. But once you get certified with GSDC, you just don't walk away with the certification. You also become a member of our community, which comes with the GSDC membership benefit, including the lifelong membership, certification upgrade, workshop, boot camps, learning club access, also the full benefit of GSDC AI Studio, and many more. So, with that, it's time to start our today's session. So, today we had Mark with us. Unfortunately, Mark could not be available today due to technical issues and personal emergencies, but he has sent a recording for all of you guys. He has also insisted that if you have any query or if you have any question regarding the session, or if you need any guidance, so I'll be sharing his LinkedIn ID at the end of today's session. You can connect with him personally. He will be able to help you guide, guys. Otherwise, you can use the chat box for dropping your question. We will be taking this question to the mark and you will get all the answer from our LinkedIn post and social media blog. So before starting the session, let me give you a quick introduction regarding the mark. So Mark has translated his background in the development of insight, analysis, and communication and operational management into a long cut working at intersection of innovation, technology, learning, and workplace culture. His experience spanned the federal US government, where he crafted strategic policy supporting new technology to improve organizational learning, as well as the technology sector, where he managed enterprise level innovation programs with both internal and external focus. His work with Fortune 500 executive has helped them understand and implications of technology advance and identify necessary culture shift to fully optimize their use. His professional experience includes roles as a consultant, program manager, and team leader. He brings deep expertise in sensing and assessing emerging technologies in innovation management, e learning, enterprise social networks, collaboration, and workplace culture. He has successfully crafted strategies and programs supporting large-scale learning and innovations initiative, applying methods, research skills, and cultural analysis and contextual understanding to solve complex organizational challenges. And the session is going to be today on learning impact over learning activity, making technology work for learning and development. So just allow me a minute to share the session recording. Meanwhile, please to let us know if you have any question regarding the GSTC initiative. I would be happy to answer that. So just allow me a minute. Also, we are going to start something new from the next week, because the GSDC certified learning with making you future ready for 2026. So we have covered almost the trends and skills which are going to help you in this year, but we have new list, new trends, new skills in the bucket for you, to making your learning journey even more easier and more engaging, more insightful, and more absorbing. So we have planned something new for you guys, which will I will be announcing at the end of today's session. So hang tight till today's end of the session. And now I am showing the recording. Please do let us know if you guys are not able to hear the audio, otherwise the screen is not visible. Thank you so much, and just enjoy the session.
So thanks again to GSDC, and I don't know how many people know who the Three Stooges are. I kind of grew up with them, right? They're comedy, but there's this one great episode from 1941, and you can see in that first image, they're delivering ice. This is back when ice boxes were a thing, before refrigerators were, right? You put a big block of ice in this ice box and it kept everything cold. So it's a hot day. So he gives him the ice block to run up the stairs to deliver it to this person. And by the time he gets up to the stairs, top of the stairs, it's all melted down to a little ice cube, right? That's the joke. So he comes back downstairs, and instead of figuring it out, he gives him 2 ice blocks to run up the stairs. And so, of course, by the time he gets to the top of the stairs,
I hope everyone is able to hear the audio and see the slides. Please give me a thumbs up if you are able to see the slides and hear the audio. Thank you so much.
you can guess what happens. He has 2 little ice cubes. And the guy standing at the top of the stairs turns to the customer and says, "Lady, why don't you just get a refrigerator?" And this is the most perfect example in my mind of confusing your activity with your value, right? They thought their value was delivering ice. That was their activity. The value was creating a technology that could keep food cold and food fresher longer. And so a lot of these companies that were built to deliver ice, when personal refrigerators, residential refrigerators came on the market, they didn't make the leap because they failed to understand the value that customers were after versus the activity that they've been engaged in. So when we're looking at enhancing learning experiences through new technologies, you really need to think about what's the value that you're providing instead of the activity that you're engaging in. And sometimes that means you just have to let it go. To move away from what we've always done. There's when I was working as a consultant, we wanted our team to make a leap to kind of the next level of the business. And to do that, our boss called us all in one day and said, "We're going to quit going after jobs at this low level because they take just as much time to go after as the jobs at the higher level. And if we're doing the little jobs, we can't go after the big jobs." So we had to let go of of that activity of going after the little jobs and really go for the value of the big jobs. So sometimes when you're looking at value versus activity and you're trying to let it go, you don't want to look at courses, but learning outcomes. Not smiley sheets, but performance improvements. Not leaving work to go take a training, but learning in the flow of work. Those are all movements from activity to value that are going to help you let it go. I've got a good example of that here. I don't know how many people have heard of Kat Norton. She goes by Miss Excel. She started off doing TikTok videos on how to do a VLOOKUP or how to do a pivot table in Excel, right? Doesn't sound very exciting, but she was energetic, she was funny, and they were short enough that people got what they needed to know from that experience. Now she's got her own company. She's designing training courses for all kinds of products. She's an MVP with Microsoft. Uh, so what's the idea here? The idea here is that we had, when I was at Amazon, um, we were producing at AWS, we were releasing something like 1,200 new services a year, 1,200 new AWS services a year. That's a lot. Um, and there's no way that you could build enough courses to teach people 1,200 new services. So one of the things we had to think about was, could we design learning experiences that were smaller? Because some of those services were rather small themselves. Some were large, and complicated and complex, but some were not. And so we had to think about, can we have a new product, essentially, of learning content that we could build to serve our customers better, to get them along their journey faster. So that's a discussion to have, that can you move off of what you've been doing in a way that lets you serve your customers better? And one thing that I want to throw in here too is, and I really truly believe this, is that I don't like the phrase change management. Change management seems to imply that change is this discrete event that happens and then it stops. And then we move into a place of stasis or equilibrium, and then another change happens and we have to manage that change. That's just not the reality anymore. The reality now is that change is a constant. You're going to wake up tomorrow and the capabilities that something like AI will provide will be different than they are today. So we need to think about a change mindset. And we need to think about why we're afraid of change. I also don't believe in that expression that people resist change. If you were walking along the street and you saw, let's just say, a huge bag of money, and there was no one around, there was no way to trace it back to its original owner, there was no kind of crime implied or anything like that, I'm guessing you would pick up the money. It'd be a big change in your life, probably for the better. But you would embrace that change almost immediately. We embrace change all the time. We get married, we have children, we change jobs, we buy houses. All of those changes are things we embrace. The reason people think we don't embrace change is because we haven't gotten to the heart of what is really going on. And a lot of that resistance to change is actually about fear. And people are afraid of what's going to happen. So I can understand if I'm sitting here telling you to change your activity, that's a fearful place, because you know what you do now, and it's really safe and secure, and you've got the process down. I'm telling you, okay, you need to look at your value. Maybe you need to change everything about how you're doing this now. That's a fearful place. And that's a great thing to realize, is once we realize what the real issue about change resistance is, then we can start to address it. So if you're coming from a place of fear, we can address those fears, right? If your customers are coming from a place of fear, we can address those fears, versus keep on thinking that the resistance to change means we just need more technology, right? That's never actually worked. So I think it's important to really face going from change management to a change mindset, and that's asking why people are really resisting change. Also want to point out one of the indicators of speed here in terms of that change becoming a constant. There's a great website called There's an AI for That. And one of the things that you can do on that site is look at the Job Impact Index. And so I went there yesterday and I typed in senior instructional designer. And what this dashboard is telling you is that right now there's 20% of the tasks, those 343 tasks that they've identified as part of a senior instructional designer's job. 20% have the potential right now to be automated by AI. And there's over 4,700 AI on the marketplace that can automate that 20%. So I want you to think about that for a minute, that ChatGPT next month It'll be 3 years since it came out. 3 years. In less than 3 years. That means that there have been 4,773 AIs built that in whole or in part can take on part of the task of being an instructional designer in just 3 years. In less than 3 years, those AIs have built up the potential to do 20% of an instructional designer's job. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but I want to get the point across that things are moving very quickly. And so having that change mindset versus that change management is really important. The good thing is that those pieces that can be automated right now are the low-level activities, the things that drive us crazy that we have to keep doing. We can automate those and then think about higher value, higher return on investment for our customer activities that we can engage in. Also wanted to talk about this misunderstood MIT study that you might have seen. It came out and everybody was, the headline from everybody was that 95% of generative AI pilots fail. 95% fail, 95% fail. And that was actually the wrong headline. The real important piece was that everybody, 90% of employees were already using AI in their workspace. So not that, 95% of top-down activities were failing. 90% of the people from the ground up were using AI in their daily jobs already, while only 40% of the company said that they had actually purchased an official approved subscription. This goes to shape a couple of pieces. And this chart really kind of gets to that. If you look at the chart on the right, enhanced learning went from number 8 in 2024 to number 4 in 2025. That means that 90% of those people who are using AI at work, the interest in using AI for enhanced learning has jumped that high. We're already at my job using things like Notebook LM to do probably what an instructional designer might have done before, which is build out and incorporate all the documentation and all the thinking we have around somebody's particular job into Notebook LM, which is a AI tool from Google, such that I can just go to it and ask it questions. I don't need to find the actual person if I've got all their information in this Notebook LM. And to me, that's kind of an enhanced learning moment. So the point here is, okay, so change is happening rapidly. You need to think about your value versus your activity. You need to think about using technologies like AI to automate those pieces of your world, your daily job that are low value, and figure out what are the high value, high touch, high return on investment products or experiences that you can create, and then evaluate those technologies in light of providing those enhanced learning experiences. This is one that I came across. This is a prompt for an instructional designer. Now, these are just the first 2 paragraphs in what is actually a 6-page prompt. And it walks you through setting the role, setting the context, setting the limitations, describing the output, all of these pieces. And then you drop it, and I've dropped this into ChatGPT and Claude, and it works well on both. So you drop it in and run it, and this is what it starts with. That it tells you what it's here to deliver. It tells you kind of the characteristics of the output. So detailed, jargon-free explanations, hands-on exercises, assessments, all those kinds of pieces. And that's all taken, 5 seconds now. And then as it drills in further, it asks you what you want to learn. And I say, I'd like to learn about how to be a good instructional designer. And it says, great choice. It always says great choice, right? But it asks me what my learning objectives are, which is already a change from how we provide content now for the most part. We don't ask our customers what their learning objectives are. We tell them. So I answer that. Then it looks for more clarity. It says, okay, I get the general idea, but let me drill down further into what you want to do. And I tell it that. And then once it knows that, it creates a course title, it creates the course, it creates the assessments, it creates the interactive exercises, and so on. Everything you could kind of want. It's not, obviously, it's not SCORM compliant. It's not ready to be dropped into an LMS, but it's probably 80% of the work, right? And that 20% is the technical stuff, creating the SCORM manifest and making sure that the LMS can ingest it and that sort of thing. But can you imagine the time savings for you as an instructional designer for having to walk through this? You don't even have to deploy what the output is, but it gets you through kind of the design stage, if you will, of ADDIE in seconds versus days or weeks. And that lets you concentrate on the higher value pieces. So that's one example of how an instructional design AI can help you build an enhanced learning experience by shortening the time that you need to take to actually design through the course. Another couple, 21 great examples, as a matter of fact, come from Dr. Philippa Hardman. And she has built use cases for learning design. And you can look at the activities here. I won't read them all to you, but you can imagine how much time when you're trying to design a course or any kind of learning experience that doing something like writing the learning objectives takes, and matching them to the right personas. Now, I'd hazard a guess that you can do probably in a day or two what used to take weeks or a month by using the right kind of combination of AI. And again, the idea here is that we're going after the activities while trying to pull back and assess what higher value we deliver to our customer, our learners, right? So if I can use an AI to write the learning objectives and it only takes 15 minutes for me to walk through it, or 30 minutes or an hour to walk through that versus a day, for me to get to the right ones because I'm going back and forth with the AI, then that leaves me a lot of other time to think about, okay, what else can I do in terms of creating really high value, high touch interactions with my customers to get them to the performance improvements that we're actually after. There are a bunch of questions that I just can't answer for you. What are the technologies that we should be using? I don't know. I don't know what you have installed. I don't know what your budget looks like. I don't know how hungry your leadership is to explore new technologies. They might be all on board and all ready to go and just saying, tell me what you want and I'll go get it. They might be incredibly risk averse and say, we're not deploying anything new without extensive testing and experimentation to make sure that it works. So I think the way you attack that question is by coming back to your leadership with a discussion of the value that you want to provide. Get away from the activity. When you're talking about a new technology that you want to use, one of the last things you want to do, in my opinion, is really talk about the technology itself. What you want to talk about is the value that you want to bring to the customer. Look, when I got that first job and I went to work inside the Pentagon, I was the one who would come running in the office and say, "Look, we need to do this with this new technology." And my boss would ask me, "Why do we need to do that?" And I'd say, "Because it's cool." And that's not a great answer in terms of making your argument. So when you think about bringing in a new technology and you want your leadership to support that move with either money or time or effort, make sure you're talking about the value that you see getting, the value that you think you'll get from deploying that new technology. What are the activities we should be letting go of? I don't know which ones eat the most of your time. If you've got a large team with a lot of hands, then maybe you can work through a lot of smaller tasks really fast, and that's not eating a lot of time. Maybe it's communicating with leadership that takes up a lot of time because you have to do a lot of revisions and wordsmithing, if you will, on the documents that you present to them. Maybe it's generating customer journey maps. Maybe it's discovering learner personas. But I think so. I don't know. I don't know which ones eat the most of your time. So I can't answer that and say, without a doubt, you need to be doing this here to save the most time. I think what you can do, though, is make sure that your end-to-end systems are instrumented in such a way that you can gather data from, let's say, your production of content, such that you know that at this stage it typically takes this long, this stage it takes this long. And then you can start looking at it and saying, again, is there something I can deploy at this stage to cut that time down? Right. And again, the reason you want to cut the time down isn't just to be more efficient, but it's to get that time back to go into that bucket of higher value that you want to produce, right? So right now, if compliance training is an example, we all have to do compliance training. Compliance training typically eats up a lot of budget, and it's mainly the reason people touch the LMS at all once you get past some mid-level position in the company. So maybe there's a way that we can, if we cut way down on the time that we have to spend either creating or deploying the compliance training, that we can do it at higher value learning activities, learning experiences, enhanced learning experiences for our customers. Because I think we might all agree that compliance training, while important, doesn't really add a lot of value to the performance of people in the organization. It prevents bad behavior, but it doesn't add net positive behavior. So look at where the activities are that eat time, that you can deploy new technologies on, pull that time back so that you can actually create truly enhanced learning experiences. How can we add the most value? That's a great question that I don't know the answer to, because I don't know what metrics matter to your leadership. And you have customers in the same way that any company does. You also have shareholders in the same way that any company does. And those shareholders are your leadership, your LT, your leadership team, and they have metrics that matter to them. And depending on what those metrics are, let's say I do customer education right now, so time to first value is really important to me. How are my programs doing in the effort to take a customer from when they first sign up for our service to when they first get value from our service, right? Am I really focused on that metric to get them to move along that journey? I don't know what those metrics are for you and your company, but figuring out what those are with your leadership is an important step. It's also an important step if you want to change their minds around what's an important metric, right? It's also a really important step, again, to come back to say, is my system instrumented in such a way that I'm getting the data out of the interactions that I need to prove these metrics, right? L&D has long struggled with the idea of how do we deliver value. One of the joys of working in customer education is I can actually draw a line to, are my customers doing better with our products because they've touched our content? It's tougher inside the organization, but where you can add the most value is really dependent on what's important to the leadership and making sure that you're gathering that data so you can make those arguments. What will our jobs look like? One of my first experiences in the Pentagon was we went to the Army Material Staff College. That sounds, again, super boring. Basically teaching logistics to Army officers. And we were talking to the faculty there. And this is, I'm old enough that this was the kind of the birth of e-learning, right? And one of the questions we got back from the professors immediately was, it sounds like you're coming for our jobs. And my boss's answer to that question was, we're coming for your jobs if you want to keep doing them the same way you've been doing them. If you want to change, then we're actually going to need more help than we ever have. And I think that's the way we can look at it today, is that if you want to keep doing your job the same way you've been doing your job for the past 5 or 10 years, that's going to get increasingly harder. But if you want to figure out how to stay ahead of the curve, if you want to kind of ride that wave and figure out what it's going to look like next, we actually need more people thinking like that than we have right now. I did want to touch on a couple of mechanisms, ways that we can address evaluating whether or not you want to deliver an enhanced learning experience, this particular enhanced learning experience or not. And I want to use a couple of points from Amazon as a way to do that. These are Amazon leadership principles. Most people have seen these. I think I'm missing the latest 2 on these, but they're kind of, I don't really like the new ones. So I'm stuck in my ways there. But one of the things that people don't understand when they see all these is that they think, oh, this is a lot that you have to do all at once. And that's great and untrue. We don't do all of these at once. So one way that you can address looking at an enhanced learning experience and whether or not you want to deliver it, these principles often operate in pairs that are in tension with each other. So there's one that says dive deep, and there's one that says bias for action. The dive deep is you want to know the problem and the solution at all levels in as much detail as possible. The bias for action is we want to move out quickly, right? And those seem to be in direct conflict with each other. And the way you manage that conflict is what we call one-way and two-way doors. A one-way door is a really expensive door to go through. It's hard to come back through. It might even touch the customer experience. So we want to be really careful and dive deep there. A two-way door is much less expensive, much easier to come back through if it's not working. It doesn't really have the potential to negatively impact the customer experience. And so we would choose bias for action. So a lot of these operate in these paired tensions. Some of them, customer obsession is never negotiable in the sense that we always want to be customer obsessed. We always want to be thinking about the customer. But a lot of these are in tension with each other, and they're a way to resolve those decisions around whether or not we want to, like, a salesperson comes in and pitches you a new technology around delivering a learning experience. You think about it and you really like it. And you're like, yes, let's do this. I want to bias for action here. And then you stop and think, okay, so what are the potential negative impacts? What's the cost? Is it easy to pull back if we don't like it? And you start answering those questions. And then you get to this answer about whether or not I can use bias for action or dive deep as my way to make this decision. Another way that we approach making decisions around experiences is what we call the press release FAQ, frequently asked questions. The press release part is really simple. You write a press release 2 years in the future, basically when you want to launch your product or service that you're thinking about, when you want to deliver the enhanced learning experience that you want to deliver. And it's typically 1 page. And so I'm a anthropology and history are kind of academic pursuits. And so I've written a lot of papers with a lot of footnotes. And when I first was told to write a press release, and that I was told that it include fictional quotes from people who would be relevant to the launch of the product, but they were fictional because you're writing it 2 years in the future. I didn't think I could do that. I was like, I have to make up a quote. And so I had to learn that you make up the quote that will be relevant to the thing when it launches. But it's 2 years down the road. And it serves 2 purposes. One is it gets across a complete vision of what the experience is that you want to deliver. It lets leadership know that you've thought through this, and this isn't an individual thing. You've thought through how this is going to fit into a bigger picture. You've thought through the value that it's going to deliver, and you're writing the press release to say that. That's the great part there. These are all in the slides that I'll leave behind. You can take a look at the different parts of the press release, and really the press release is described, the Amazon press release stuff is described in multiple places online if you want more information than this. The frequently asked questions are what come behind the press release, and they are the press release lays out the vision for the enhanced learning experience you want to deliver. The frequently asked questions demonstrate how thoughtful you've been about what it's going to take to deliver that. And those are well more than one page. And they're divided into two sections, the external and the internal. The external is how much will it cost? Will it cost anything for the customer? Where can the customer find this? How does it work for the customer? What will the customers think? You're answering those kinds of customer-focused questions. The internal focus is, does this rely on new or existing technology? Are there adjacent existing services or products that we can use? How quickly can we move? Are there any dependencies? What's the upfront investment? And these are once they've read the vision and you've shown the vision of what you want to deliver, this is the FAQ is how you convince leadership that you've actually been really thoughtful about it and have started answering these questions. And oftentimes you don't have to answer all these questions, but showing that you've thought of the important points to answer in building out this enhanced learning experience can get leadership on your side. Let's see. Okay, so I will say this is one question I can answer. The one strategy or skill that you have to develop in yourself and on your team is to be relentlessly curious. There's this essay by Isaiah Berlin, and the part that really got me is at the very start. There's a discussion of a fragment from an ancient Greek poem that talks about how the fox knows many things and the hedgehog knows one thing deeply. And I think the reason I like the image where it combines the fox and the hedgehog is I think as instructional designers, people creating learning experiences, we have to be both of those things right now. We have to be relentlessly curious and we have to be deeply engaged we have to be curious about everything that's happening and everything that's changing. We have to be deeply engaged on the value that we're providing with these learning experiences that we want to provide. So we have to be both the fox and the hedgehog. We have to be curious and we have to be engaged. And don't worry about change. I love this because change is inevitable, adaptation is not. So don't be afraid to be wrong. Look to build that environment of psychological safety where you can take a risk and it's not what we used to call a CLM or a career limiting move, right? And if you think nobody else has ever made a mistake, I put some quotes in here to show you that some people, some really smart people in the past have made some insanely huge mistakes and insanely huge, incredibly wrong predictions. And so don't be afraid of being wrong. You'll be in really good company. Thank you.
I really apologize. So, thank you so much, Mark, for the amazing and impactful sessions. And I hope you get well soon and we'll be having you in the future session. So, participant, if you have any query or if you want to know more regarding anything, please feel free to use the chat box. I'll be taking those questions to the mark, and you guys will have all the answer from our LinkedIn post and LinkedIn blogs. I'm also sharing his LinkedIn ID so that you can connect with him directly. And if you need any guidance, I'm sure he would be happy to help you out, guys. So, I'm really sorry I sent yesterday's LinkedIn ID. Just allow me a minute. Meanwhile, do let us know, like how did you guys like this session, or if you have anything on your mind, you would like to share regarding this session. So let me pull up the LinkedIn ID first. And I hope everyone is enjoying their Friday. I mean, somewhere it is morning, somewhere it is midnight, somewhere it is evening, but everyone will get start enjoying their Friday night, right? And also, to our Indian to our Indian audience, I know that there is a holiday, like national holidays coming on, guys, on 26th January. So happy, like Republic Day in advance. But we have also a planned, like surprise webinar for you on the 26th of January. So I hope you guys will be able to join at that time. I know it's a holiday, and then next day you guys have to catch up the office and all those things, and you guys will be relaxing your after your long weekend. So we really apologize if you're bothering you with this webinar, but if you will join, I'm sure you will learn something new, something traditional, because as I told you that we are bringing something new from the next week. So I'm hoping to see you all, see my Indian audience as well. Yes, Aminat, I'm really sorry. This is a wrong LinkedIn ID. This is yesterday's speaker LinkedIn ID. I'm sharing the correct LinkedIn ID now. So this is the Mark's LinkedIn ID. Please do connect with them, guys, on this. And let's start wrapping up the session, because I know most of you guys are planning for the weekend. So I do not want to keep you very long. So just allow me a minute and let me share my screen and we'll wrap up the session. So, if you guys are ready for your certification, the certifications are available for learning and development into our website. We are also giving a complimentary coupon code to all of our participants so that you don't miss out. So, if you want to get certified into the learning and development, please check out our website, opt for the certification. Use the coupon code link which I have sent into the chat box, and get 20% off and get certified. And before wrapping up, as I wanted to make a few announcements, utility tool is one of them. So if you are on your job hunting journey, this tool is very fruitful for you, because you can log in into this utility tool by using your LinkedIn ID and password, and it will re-improvise your profile, and it will give your recommendation or suggestion according to the job industry you're targeting and the designation you're targeting. And it will help you to pass the AI ATA screening system, which these days HRs and recruiters are using to make their professional life easier. So we are also giving a complimentary coupon code for utility tool, which will give you 100% off. I've shared the coupon code link into the chat box. Please do use this coupon code link and make your job hunting journey even more easier. All the best to all the job hunters right now. And as I told you that, guys, that we are going to get something new from the next weekend. So till yet, we have learned in the, from January till yet that how to make you future ready for 2026. But now it's time to reset the learning and development from redefining skill strategies, business impact for the year ahead. Because obviously we are learning about the new technologies, but we should also learn regarding the past technologies, past lesson which has been upgraded in a new version according to the future, according to the 2026 year. So in this webinar, we are going to cover from A to Z of redefining skills, strategies, and business impact for the year ahead. And it will be conducted from 26th to 30th January at the same time, 9:30 a.m. Central, 11:30 p.m. Singapore, 9 p.m. Indian, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Registration are open. You can check out our website and you can register for this webinar. And as in AI webinar, we have till yet learned regarding the GSDC AI in Action 2026 from protection, prediction, and performance across the industries. But now it's time to must know AI strategies from automation to autonomous intelligence in business. Because as I told you that, guys, that yes, we have learned how to start the career, how to start the business, how to make your footprint in your career, footprint in your business. But now it's time to learn what is the must AI technology, must AI tool, and must strategies you guys should know for jumping start and jumping ahead into your career or business. And this is going to be conducted from 26th to 30th Jan at 7:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore, 7 p.m. Indian, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Registration are open. You can check out our website for this. and as well as for the ISO leadership reset as well. Till yet, we have learned from policy to practice in 2026. Now it's time to reset the leadership skills and managerial skills, also the corporate employee skills, which is also the business managers, founders, CFO, CTO, for everyone in the ISO who are interested and who wants to learn regarding the new skills, building a resilient, secure, and accountable enterprise. And this is going to be conducted from 26th to 30th Jan at 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 8 p.m. Indian, and 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Registration are open for this. Please check out our website for it. As well as we are going to conduct one more webinar. So this webinar is a little bit special rather than the other webinars, although all the webinars are special, because we want to make every industry journey and every industry professional's journey easier. We are on a mission on that, and I really hope that we are completing that mission which we are following regarding this webinar. But we are also going to give you one more webinar for next week. So if you are into digital marketing, social media, search engine optimization, so this webinar is for you. Because in this webinar, you're going to learn the GEO. GEO, generative engine optimization, the mixture of search engine optimization, digital marketing, social media marketing, content creator, and as a LinkedIn creator, plus AI. So, from blue links to AI citation, mastering the Geo playbooks for 2026. And this is going to be conducted from 26th to 30th January at 6:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Singapore, 6 p.m. Indian, and 7:30 a.m. Eastern. So, I'm hoping to see you all in all of the webinar in next week as well. The registration are open for all of the webinar. Please check out our website and register yourself. And with that, it's time to celebrate our referral champions. We have Bhanu Durgesh, EPI, and Avinash Kumar. Thank you so much to all three of you for helping us simplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. So you can also become one of our knowledge professionals, knowledge advisors. What you have to do, if any of your peers, colleagues, and professionals wants to join for this webinar or any other webinar, please do refer the registration link which you will be able to find on our website. So every referral will earn you a point, and once you hit a 50 referral points, you will be able to get a free $400 worth gift certification voucher. So what are you waiting for? Take the advantage of this offer and become one of our knowledge professionals and advisor. And if you want to be one of our speakers for learning capsules, for webinar, for podcast, you're most than welcome. We would be happy to have you as our speaker. Please do reach out at pratibha@gsdccouncil.org, preetham@gsdccouncil.org. You guys can reach out to us on LinkedIn as well. And these are the platform where you guys can connect with us: our LinkedIn, our website, our WhatsApp group. Also, we would love to hear your feedbacks. We would love to know your session key takeaways, your learning outcomes, because your feedbacks and suggestions are helping us improving our program to making your learning journey even more engaging and insightful. I'm sharing all of this link along with the reviews.io link into the chat box so that you don't miss out. Do connect with us with all of the platform for staying updated regarding our upcoming events and trends, and do share your feedbacks and suggestions on reviews.io. With that, it's time to come to an end. Thank you so much once again, Mark, for sending your session recording today. We are hoping to see you in the future session in live. And thank you so much to all of the participants for joining today with our learning journey. We are excited to have you with us. See you in next week at another impactful Learning and Development Global Skill Development Council session. Till then, keep learning, keep energizing. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Also, once again, to our Indian audience, a very happy Republic Day. We are hoping to see you on 26th January as well. Thank you so much, guys.